For as long as humanity has sailed the seas, we have dismantled the giants that once conquered them. Newer vessels replace the old ones in a relentless march of progress. From the golden age of ocean liners to the modern cruise boom, the scrapyard has claimed some of the most iconic ships ever built. I'm Chris Frame. As a maritime historian, I've spent years documenting the lives of these magnificent vessels. But today we're not focusing on their glory days. We're going straight into the heart of ship scrapping, the dangerous, the dramatic, and the undeniably fascinating end of a ship's life. Imagine the grandeur of Cunard's Mauritania, the speed queen of her time, holder of the prestigious Blue Riband as the fastest transatlantic liner, reduced to scrap. Or the White Star Line's Olympic, sister to the Titanic, a symbol of luxury gone forever. Even the Aquitania, a veteran of 2 world wars, found her final berth in a Scottish scrapyard. The jet age ushered in a wave of obsolescence. The once proud liners of P&O, Union Castle and the French line consigned to the breakers' yard. A poignant reminder that even the most magnificent creations are subject to progress's relentless march. The recent cruise boom has extended the lives of many ships. The SS Norway, the Pacific Princess, the Pacific Sky, and the Big Red Boat 2, so expertly captured by Peter Canego at Midship's Century YouTube channel, all enjoyed a long service career cruising, their service lives extended thanks to the booming appetite for pleasure voyages. Yet each of these floating cities also succumbed to the scrapper's torch. And then the world changed. The global pandemic of 2020 brought an unprecedented halt to the cruising industry. Suddenly, vibrant cruise ships, symbols of freedom and exploration, were adrift, their futures uncertain, and the scrappy way. The decision to scrap a ship is ultimately a business one. At the end of their lives, ships are often bought by scrapyards. These scrapyards inspect the vessels prior to the sale, calculating a potential return. They must ensure that the value of the materials that are salvageable on board exceed the purchase price and the cost of dismantling. This economic reality drives the entire process. Costs are recouped through the sale of valuable items. From the tons of steel, aluminium and other metals used in the ship's construction, to the fixtures and the fittings that find new life on the second-hand market, every component is assessed for its potential value. But the business of scrapping ships comes at a significant human cost. It's a dangerous and demanding profession. Scrapyard workers contend with treacherous working conditions, dismantling massive structures that threaten to collapse around them. Older vessels, particularly those built before the 1980s, are frequently laden with asbestos, a deadly carcinogen. Many ships are coated in lead-based paints, posing severe health risks. Bilge areas and fuel tanks are often contaminated with oil and bunker fuel residue, while residual diesel fuel must be carefully purged from fuel systems. The reality is that scrapping a ship is an incredibly challenging and hazardous undertaking. A ship's final voyage often begins with destoring, where the cruise line strips the ship of its treasures. Valuable artifacts, memorabilia, and even the smallest trinkets are salvaged, a last vestige of a ship's identity. But the vast majority, beds, tables, chairs, entire rooms, are left to the scrapyard. Sometimes fragments of these giants are saved. Panelling from the RMS Olympic is preserved in a hotel in England. Decorations from that same ship, including honour and glory from the Grand Staircase, reside at a museum in Southampton. These pieces offer a glimpse into a world lost to time, a tangible connection to the past. A ship's final journey is often shrouded in anonymity. Names are changed, liveries stripped away, a final act of transformation before the steel is reclaimed. The SS Norway was renamed Blue Lady before her final voyage to Alang, a ghost ship on her final passage. Yet others retain their storied names proudly to the end, like P&O's Canberra. The scrapping process is brutal. Some ships are driven onto the beaches under their own power. Others are towed to their final destination. Each method a testament to the skill and danger involved in dismantling these leviathans. Sometimes the scrapping process begins when the ship is still afloat, as seen with the Olympic. After accidents and incidents, scrapping can happen on site, a necessary step when refloating is impossible. The RMS Queen Elizabeth, a victim of fire, a haunting reminder of the unpredictable nature of the sea. In contrast, Costa Concordia was towed to her final scrapping destination following a free-floating operation. The scrapping process also varies, but often begins with a ceremonial cutting of the bow, a symbolic end and a nod to the ship's legacy. The bow of the SS France, which later sailed as the SS Norway, is preserved as a monument to her former glory. Recycling of shipboard materials isn't limited to full scrapping of a vessel. It also occurs during refits and transformations. For example, the QE2's re-engining in the 1980s was a massive undertaking that yielded thousands of tons of scrap metal. Even the ship's propellers were recycled, with one of them being turned into golf clubs. These golf clubs were later sold on board the ship in the gift shop. A few ships are spared the breaker's yard, transformed into floating museums and hotels. The Queen Mary, the Rotterdam and the QE2 are rare exceptions, preserved for future generations. But even these guardians of history are subject to change, their original features often replaced and their stories subtly altered. These transformations into hotel ships also generate scrap metal and scrap materials, which are recycled. In the end, most ships return to the earth in which they came, but their stories, their legends live on, carried in the memories of those who sailed on board them, and in the recycled steel that builds the future. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video interesting. A special thanks to Peter Canego from Midship Cinema YouTube channel for the amazing archival footage of the scrapped ships, as well as Andrew Sasserly Walker, the Henderson and Kramer collection, and all of our other photographic contributors. A huge thank you as always to our fantastic channel members. Your support is what makes these videos possible. You can join the crew and see your name appear on future videos by following the link in the description below. For even more interesting maritime history articles, don't forget to check out my Substack, full of exclusive stories. And until next time, I hope to see you on board.